5 biggest mistakes with first starting Airbnb. Listen, let me save you guys the time, the hassle, and the money that it takes with first starting and operating your Airbnb. Take my 7 months of issues and complaints and use them to you guys' advantage. This is Kai Gibson, and we're gonna be giving you tips on your Airbnb today. Okay, let's get straight to it. So my first complaint, we're gonna actually start off with a story. It's a story with me living in Memphis, and I had that house for about 6 months. I had just got it, but some stuff had happened down in Memphis that I had to leave down to Texas. So I was planning on leaving to Texas, and I still had this house in Memphis, and I still had probably about eight months on the lease. So I was trying to figure out what I can do with the property, found out about Airbnb. So I transformed my house, the inside of it, the whole thing, listed it on Airbnb. Once I first listed, I noticed that people on Airbnb like to book the weekends, and some of them like to book day stays a lot on Airbnb Pacific. And a little secret on that first one, sometimes I send them, well, not sometimes, all the time, I send a message out letting the people know, usually when they have like a day to 2 day stay, that's usually how the parties go on. I text them and I let them know that, hey, you have a host next door, so just be mindful of that and let us know if you need anything. Thank you. This is exactly why I say you guys can learn from me on this one. The main things you guys will have problems with on Airbnb is parties, because they interrupt the neighbors, they interrupt a lot of stuff. Sometimes the police can be called involved. So, you just don't want that. So, like I said, the things that guests do, the things that hosts do to prevent that is they require a security deposit before the guests even step the foot in the door. So when they have that security deposit, they hold it until the guests leave to make sure everything is all right with the property. That's number one. Second one. Now, you guys are gonna laugh at this one, but starting my first Airbnb, I got everything furnished. I did everything like I was supposed to, but one thing you guys are gonna learn is you definitely need one of those electric keypads. And what I mean by that is the thing that you can either scan your hand on or put the code in to let the guests in. You guys don't wanna deal with having a lockbox code and having a key in it, because I had one guest that basically came, and the day that they checked in, they lost 2 sets of the keys. So I had to go get a replacement of 2 keys. I only had 3 copies of the key. I had to get a replacement of 2 of them. And that's also not the only guest that has either got locked out or just completely lost the keys. So you guys definitely want to get a keypad. That's going to make everything easier for check-in process. Number 3 is going to cost a lot of money if you definitely don't know it in Airbnb or in any platform. Now, you can lose a lot of money on not just changing your prices on Airbnb. Now, I did not know that when I first started Airbnb. If you looked at my Airbnb calendar back then, you would see all my prices set as the same. It'll be $158 on Monday, $158 on Tuesday, $158 on Thursday. So now I approach it a little bit different. And especially when I'm not booked. When I'm not booked for, let's say we get to Sunday, right? And that Monday of the next week, I don't have full at all. Nobody has booked, right? So to that week, if I'm normally at $158 a day, I would take those prices and change the prices to each one of those: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So every time, one thing you guys don't know is on Airbnb, when you take your prices down, Airbnb then lifts your listing up. So once you give a discount to your price, Airbnb lifts it up so more people can see it and more people can view it. So like I said, usually within a 24-hour break or 48-hour break, if I haven't got booked for the week, I'll change those prices out. And that has worked tremendously for me. Tremendously. So that's definitely a big one for me. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. Let's get to the... Okay, so now we're on our 4th one. Now this one is a little bit common sense, but you will definitely see the problem on Airbnb if you go on Airbnb today. If you look on Airbnb, you will see some listings that have beautiful photos. I mean, they look professionally taken and all that, and then you go on some other listings and they look like they were just taken from a normal camera, or just look like a low value phone. You know what I mean? So the things you definitely want to do with your first Airbnb, with first listing it, or even if you have it listed right now and want to change up anything on it, you definitely want to get a professional photographer on it. Or if you can't afford a professional photographer, they have apps like Lightroom that I personally use to brighten up the room, the walls, the floors, everything like that. All right, so number 5. Now, this was one of my biggest mistakes because I thought that Airbnb would just take on my listing and be the hero and give me a whole bunch of bookings. That was not the case. So on Airbnb, when I first got on there, like I said, I probably got a maximum of I did all right. I got about 15, 13 bookings out of the month, right? So that was enough to pay for the rent and have me a little bit of money afterwards. But the thing that I didn't realize is I was missing out on a lot of money from a lot of other platforms, because there's a lot of other platforms out here that some people haven't heard of. You know, Verbal, Booking Away. You have a lot of them. A lot of sites that can get your property out there a little bit more, to where you can either get a more chance of getting monthly booked or just getting booked at all. So definitely, you guys definitely want to do your research on more platforms to put you guys listings on. If you guys like that video, like, comment for more. I'm going to be doing a lot of more videos on Airbnb and just what I'm going through right now to help you guys